Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you enjoy the content. I'm just going to be in here for a short period of time because I have a plant that's real leggy and I'm going to create a trellis for it. It is my monstera siltepecana. That's the name of the plant. Right now I'm just cutting a few dead leaves off of it. It's getting real leggy. And I'll explain there's some things that you can do about the plant getting very leggy to make the plant look more fuller. But if you're revisiting, you know the spiel. I appreciate you. I appreciate your loyalty. I hope you'll tell your friends and family about me or continue to tell people about my channel so that I can get my subscription up and that we all can continue planting. Okay, so here we go. This is a philodendron siltepecana. It's a beautiful plant. It loves the bright light. And recently I up-potted it and it's showing a little stress from that, but she's still putting out new leaves, okay? But it's kind of leggy in between the inner nodes, and basically what that is there's a little knot right here, and then there's a space that's called an internode. So that's where you would cut in the inner node. You never want to cut the node because that's where the root is the growth point is. So instead of cutting the plant, because it's still pretty full with the exception of, see this space here with no leaves, and it probably was the dead leaves that fell off. Rather than cut the plant, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a little trellis for it. And basically all I did was get some local wire from the hardware store, or you can buy a trellis, but this is cheaper when you got so many plants like I do. You got to figure out how to save money. So I got a little wire clippers here, and I'm just going to cut a section out of the wire, and I'm going to create a trellis. And basically the trellis, what it will do is help the plant grow upwards. And if you give it enough light when the plant is growing upwards, it will produce bigger leaves, and it will also stop being so leggy like what we have right now. Okay, so I mean there's different ways that you can make a trellis. Some people like to use the circle method. I think that's what I'm going to do because that's the easiest. You can kind of see how it's circular like this. You can kind of round it and then put a little straight leg at the end of it so that it'll stick right down into the soil, and it doesn't hurt the soil or the plant to have this trellis. Okay, so we're going to start like this. I'm just going to stick it on each side. Then what you do is you find a section of the plant, because there's different ones like this, and you kind of wind it through or wrap it around. It's just whatever some people do it like this. And then you can take and put some of it back in the pot as long as those nodes are on there, and then pin it down, and you can get more fuller growth at the base of the plant. But there's these little clamps that you can buy, and I'm gonna see if I have any here. I wasn't prepared to do this today, so I may not have any. You can use zip ties, clamps, anything that you have available to kind of brace the plant. Okay, so I'm gonna use a zip tie, and all I'm gonna do is put it right here so that it will hold this plant onto the trellis, and then I'll cut the excess off. Okay, I'll show you here in just a second what I'm doing. So there it goes, kind of give you an idea of what it's going to look like. I'm going to cut that area there, take that little zip tie, and then you just keep doing the same thing. You can even make it go in a different direction, or you can take the area that's not full and train the leaves to grow in that area by putting them on the trellis that way. So that's all I'm doing, is just wrapping it up, putting it on the trellis. Now, I want to express to you that you do not have to do this if you like that leggy look, the hangy look, the look where the plant is just growing straight down. But I like to do this because it's more controlled, it's more conformed, and it also, like I said, it'll help the leaves get bigger. It'll push out bigger leaves, and hopefully it'll give me the results that I want by doing this. So that's all I'm doing, is I'm taking this plant the way it already is, and I'm just going in here and winding it around the trellis. Now, what I want to show you, and I think I have a paper clip here. You can use a paper clip, or you can use a bobby pin. I prefer a bobby pin. But you remember we were talking about the nodes on the stem? What you can do is sit that stem back down onto the soil, and when you do that, you can clamp it. I'm going to show you here in just a second. You can clamp that stem where that node is touching the soil and create more roots in that plant, because as long as those nodes touch that root, that soil, then that plant will root. So all I'm going to do to get the stem to stay down inside the soil, I'm going to create a little clamp. See, I just made a little clamp right here, and all I'm going to do is tuck the bottom of this plant back down onto the soil where that node will touch it. And once it touches it, it can begin to produce more roots. And it'll also help the plant be more sturdy. So that's all I did, was I stuck it down inside the soil. And I clamped it so that it can't move, because this plant grows leggy. And so in order for it to stay and do what you want it to do, you have to train it. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys just the difference in what we just did by clamping it onto the trellis and clamping it back into the soil. And right now it's going to look real strange, because that's just the way it looks. But once it starts growing, you guys, it's actually beautiful, because it gets this circular type pattern. But here it is. We got one piece still hanging. You could actually let that hang if you wanted, but I don't want to do that. I want it on the trellis. So that's telling me you still got some more you need to clamp, Charlotte. And that's fine. I'll just give you some more stuff to clamp it here. You can use Velcro ties, and the Velcro ties are, the bread wrapper ties. You can use that too. But that's why we're here today. We're just putting a monstera siltepecana on a trellis and helping this plant grow around the trellis to give us a beautiful rounded plant and bigger, brighter leaves. I'll stay in touch with you guys and let you see the progress of this plant on the trellis. Okay? Thanks again for stopping by my channel. I hope you guys come back and be well. Bye now. Thanks.